Taking a little back roads tour. I can't imagine living anywhere but rural areas. I'd love to be able to hop to a store, to a Taco Bell real fast, but you know what? I don't like a lot of people around me or traffic, and I like clean country air, so here I am. And just for the record, no, I do not live on this road. In case there's some stalker out there, I do not live in this neighborhood. I'm just taking a roundabout route on country roads. I'm going to do this a little more often because there's plenty of back roads I could take you on that all around and within even in a 50-mile radius. There's a lot of rural in Louisiana in general. It's been a busy week, but thanks to a dear lady who happens to, I don't know what you call it, the current wife. I'm the ex-wife. We actually did a YouTube channel briefly with one video on it that has some views, but I haven't checked it in so long. Current informer. We actually were pretty good at panning off each other. Just funny because I divorced this dude and she married him not long after. And she is really a sweet person and she is so talented. We're going to go to her house hopefully this week and see some of her amazing crochet art. It's art because, I mean, I can crochet a little bit, but this woman, what she does is art. And she sells them at bargain prices, which she could, like, she likes what she does and she likes to keep the product moving, so she doesn't sell them for as what they're worth, because they're worth a lot more than she sells them for. But she made me a shawl and I gotta go over there and get it. And while we're there, we'll look at some of her other creations. Just won't be able to do it today, but sometime this week. I also got prescriptions I need to pick up this week that have been sitting at the pharmacy for almost a whole week because I've just been so busy. And I've set alarms, people. I have set alarms. So I'll go get this. I'll turn off the alarm. Yeah, okay, let me grab this and go do this and that. No, it doesn't get done. So I set 2 alarms for tomorrow. In case the other one gets turned off and I get sidetracked or whatever, another one will go off in 15 minutes with the wording of what I have to do, worded in a different way, because I know how I am. This back here is the woods. The surrounding woods around it was referred to as Hobo Jungle when I was a kid, because back in the olden days, the hobos would camp back out here during Depression times and further on. People that would ride in boxcars, jump on the train, vagrants, some people just down on their luck. It's a type of homelessness, but it was done through the railways. So I'm gonna get this shifted a little better. Whole bunch of train tracks, because not far from this spot, like, okay, over there is the Railroad Museum. I don't know if you can really see it, but anyway, there's a bunch of tracks right here, because in between there and here was the railroad shops that my grandfather and great-grandfather and great-uncles worked on trains at. Once upon a time when this place was even smaller than it is now. Shout out to Kim. I know you're enjoying this pass through the big town metropolis. And the lady that does the crocheting, she watches sometimes too, and her name is Rhonda. And you can find her at Afghans by Rhonda. I'll have to put a link in this description box and in some more of my description boxes in the coming videos that I do. So y'all can go check out her. Inventory is always changing because she moves a lot of stuff and she does special orders. But the closer it gets to Christmas time, she is going to get backed up. You see that building there that they're working on the right? It's just now in the last few months they got to start working on it because from Hurricane Laura, the insurance companies didn't want to pay squat because they were losing money. You know, they can't be losing money for their big corporate people, of course. So everybody had to go to court just about, unless you got lucky. And the docket is backed up to 2023, and Hurricane Laura was 2020. Docket is backed up into May, if not further. Just plain old sad that many people had to deal with that. Got some artwork that's done as memorials, or the different restaurants are in the little branches. There's a lot of murals. There was one particular mural. Well, you can't see it because it's been on the wall facing away from the camera. That was done. Anyway, this mural painted by Danny Elaine, it had an arm that was of Caucasian with a hand, and the other arm was of the African American color, and that hand and each hand was joined together in the form of working together. Because everybody pulled together after Hurricane Laura. Didn't matter if you was black or white. We didn't care about that stuff. When stuff happens, folks down here in the South, you know, y'all can say we're prejudiced, and there are people that are prejudiced. Don't get me wrong. I even know a few here and there. But we pull together. We don't care what color you are. We help each other. And that hurricane was devastating. I mean, it was devastating. There's still, like I showed you, still stuff that ain't fixed. Might not ever get fixed. There's a blue roof on my left. Can't mess with the camera right now because I'm driving. But blue roof is the blue tarps put on by the Corps of Engineers for people that needed it. But, I mean, everybody came together. My church in particular was a station for people to just come get stuff. There were so many churches from out of state that came down and helped. The Samaritan's Purse people from the Billy Graham Foundation came down and helped. They cleared the trees from a lot of our property. And before that, so I could get home and get to work, because I used to work for a place that involved landscaping and dirt work and all that kind of stuff. And we were desperately needed our services, so I needed to get back. But I was also trying to get my parents back and everything because I was responsible for them. But that company that I worked for came and cleared my yard, which was an expensive job, at least by my standards, to have to pay for done, because there was no way we could have gotten into our yard. My cousin cleared, and some people cleared our road. And then the company I used to work for, they are good people. They came and cleared that yard of the debris of the logs and shoved them up in the ditch. So we had a place to park to get back to still be able to even get in our house. So, I mean, there are so many people that rag on the South. But you know what? If you ain't from here and you've never lived here, don't talk smack about Southerners. Now, don't get me wrong. We Southerners will talk smack about some Yankees. But you know what? I had the culture shock of living up north in Maine, on the East Coast, or what they refer as down East Maine, on an island. And it was culture shock for me, because, I mean, we're totally different. But deep down, we're really not, because they were the same way. I saw people get together and help each other out. They just had a different way of life, a different way of talking. They did like to hunt and fish just as much as Southerners do. They just had a different way of going about it, because their hunting laws are different than ours. They're very conservative about how things are hunted. They don't want things killed off or overfished. Neither do we. It's just different climate, different environment. So when I hear people talking about Yankees and Northerners, I get a little miffed at that, because they don't, if you haven't lived there, now okay, the food's different. Takes a lot of getting used to, because we are used to savory seasoned food. The main seasonings up there are salt, pepper, and butter. And as you know, we have a lot more down here, and all sorts. And the coffee's a little different too. We're a little bit more stronger with our coffee. But anyhows, America is made up of so many good people. Now, I've never been to the West any further than Fort Worth. It's about as far as west. Yeah. I haven't really been beyond the San Antonio, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, beyond that Texas side. And I definitely have never been as far west as California. I would like to visit the Midwest, Ohio. I have some friends on Facebook that I've made through YouTube that all seem to end up in Ohio, but they all seem to live there for some reason. It seems to be a very beautiful place, good people there. I want to visit there too. I do have kinfolk in Indiana, which is not too far from Ohio. So I have been to the Midwest once. California, people that I know people that have moved from California because of the way California is today. I do have a faithful subscriber named Sophia. I just love this lady. I would love to meet her in person one day. And maybe even if we don't meet on this earth, we will meet in heaven one day. She knows what it's like there. But California is a beautiful place, because my mother lived there for several years as a child. You know, I want to say till around middle school age, and she has very fond memories of the Petaluma, California area and the beauty of it. So every place has good people and bad people, good things and bad things, but deep down there are good people everywhere. There are good people that'll step up and help you when you're in need, or people that will pull together in a crisis situation. And I guess that's my little word of the day, because I'm almost to the Cooper Hill farm. The last time I took you out here, those watermelons sitting out front, he was giving them away because he had a little overabundance of the watermelons. That was some good melons. I don't know who this is or why they're parked there. Oh, that's probably kinfolk. So I see a granddaughter on grandpa's porch. And we have the dog. Bones is greeting us. That's old Bones. Megan's behind me. There's Horsey's. Oh gosh, Jim beat me here. Brother Jim beat me. Maybe we'll get another video of the donkeys today. I hope so.